Alright, Schlockmeister fans. This movie is called If Looks Could Kill. It's not the Richard Grieco one, it's from a few years earlier. It was an assignment that became an obsession, and murder was only the beginning. Let's check it out. Our movie starts out on a boat, party boat. That's Jamie Gillis, porn star on the left.
Is he a business, isn't it? Yeah, George Ringer.
He's looking for a videographer.
BLU-RAY. President with National First Bank. My client suspects of embezzling.
Mr. Devinoff, I'm not a detective.
We know that, Mr. Ringer. All we want you to do is videotape her apartment.
Take care of the apartment.
So he's going to videotape her and spy on her.
Excuse me, but you're...
This is his girlfriend, Jeannie.
Talk shows. You know, women making it in a man's world. That kind of thing.
Never heard of her till today.
George, you should know these things.
Well, I bet you don't know who your congressman is.
True. So do you...
I don't know.
So anyway, they get him a room across the street from Laura's apartment so he can spy on
No
her.
air conditioning, you've got to be kidding. No, okay.
But they put the room in his name, too.
Yeah, I know how to open a window. Thanks for the help.
So here he is spying on Laura, who graciously left her shades open. And if you look closely there is a suitcase full of money. I think she is embezzling. Now, as you would expect with this type of scenario, she of course is going to strip for him. Or for us. It's actually a really nice scene, but I can't show you too much more. Believe it or not, the Madonna-looking maid is also going to strip for us because she's going to have sex with the doorman on Laura's bed. I can't show you any of that. There's the doorman I mentioned. And of course, George is taping all of it.
We're playing Wasn't Monopoly. Second of all, I'm on the other side of the street. I can't record sound.
All right. I'm sorry, George. But you understand, we have to have sound.
Well, how? What do you expect me to do? Play CIA agent and break into her apartment and plant bugging devices?
Whatever it takes.
So what does George do? He breaks into her apartment and plants bugs.
Gone. I mean, what is a couple $1 million to them anyway? I'm sure their insurance will more than cover it. Yeah. Carson.
Laura's partner, or whoever he is, gave her a bunch of cash.
Go back to the party. Only when I say Carson.
He records her having phone sex. Meets up with Jack again.
I think she's ready to make a move. Can't tell how much money she's got, but it must be a nice little nest egg. If I were you, I'd come down on her right now before she flies off into the sunset.
I make the decisions for my client.
One day, George decides to follow Laura. He follows her to Jack, who makes her strip in this cruddy building. And then he kind of treats her like a dog, hops on her back while she's naked. I, of course, can't show you any of that. It ended with a scream. I think he burned her boob with a cigarette. So back to the apartment, looking to tape some more, and for the first time ever, Laura's shades are closed. Well, this is the exact same outfit that George was wearing when he broke into her apartment the first time. So we're led to believe this is him again, but here's somebody in George's apartment putting a tape in to record the activities we see. Well, it actually is George who's in there right now. Not sure if he was bugging the place again or what, but someone was clearly recording him, and someone is clearly taking that tape. Looking for Jack, and no one's ever heard of him.
He's tall, he's in his mid-30s, dark hair and 10 sides. He's a lawyer.
Architectural firm.
This is the same office. I wouldn't forget this office.
I'll be right in. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me.
This is his pal Bob. Bob's trying to help George figure out what's going on.
Preparing a statement for the press at this moment, Nancy. But speaking for all of us here at the bank, I have to say we were totally surprised.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Straight from the president of National First Bank. Surprise! That's the feeling amongst a lot of the employees here today, and what a surprise. $2.5 million gone.
Now something's going on in Laura's apartment. Laura's dead. And guess who they think is going to be the guilty person? Remember that tape we saw? Somebody was wearing the same outfit that George has. So naturally, people are going to think George did it once these tapes get out. But George splits.
It was from this window that George Ringer, whom police suspect of killing Laura Williamson, videotaped his victim.
Bob tries to help him because he knows he hasn't done it.
Hi, Bob.
He calls Jeannie for help, his girlfriend who actually broke up with him recently.
It's very important that I get in touch with Jean Burns. Don't talk about a job, it's an emergency. I need her phone number. All right, I know. Calm down, I'm not going to hurt you. Why did you kill her? I didn't kill her. I'm the one who took the money. I loved her.
Carson's going crazy, losing his mind. Unbeknownst to both of them, Jack is hiding there also. I think Jack's behind all of this. Anyway, Jeannie agrees to help him.
Awful. You're welcome.
Not bad.
Give him a place to stay. But uh-oh. I think Jeannie and Jack are in on this.
Things up, George. You're supposed to be in jail. What must happen?
So Jack killed him. Jeannie was in on it. But Jack doesn't want Jeannie anymore either.
Honey, I'm tired of hearing you talk to.
George takes off, and then he and Jack get into a struggle. Now watch Jack's arm closely. Like all good killers, Jack still isn't dead. But he's as good as dead. Then the cops show up. And that's our movie. Alright, let's talk about If Looks Could Kill. This is a movie from the 80s, 1986 actually. It's directed by Chuck Vincent, who directed a lot of low-budget B movies. He also did some porn stuff back in the 70s and 80s. I've reviewed a few of his films already in the past. He died, I think, in 1992, something like that. And I think he died of AIDS, actually. Anyway, this movie is something that showed up in the video store shelves back then. I probably was in the horror section, as I recall, although it's not really a horror movie. It's more of like a thriller type. It's kind of like a... I don't want to say it's kind of like a knockoff of the movie Body Double, Brian De Palma's movie. This guy is hired. This guy is like a videographer of some sort. He's hired by this other guy to spy on this woman named Laura. The guy who's hiring him is actually played by porn star Jamie Gillis, a big porn star of the 80s and 90s. So anyway, he hires this guy to, he rents him an apartment across the street from where this Laura lives, and it's some sort of high-rise or something in New York. And Laura likes to never close her shades, of course, and she sleeps in the nude, and we see her strip and get naked and have sex and everything else that she does. The guy eventually says, hey, I need some audio too. So he ends up getting this guy to break into Laura's apartment and wire it up so he can get audio and video on this. The next thing you know, Laura shows up dead. And while this is happening, somebody is in this guy George. He's the guy who's taping her and stuff. Some guy goes into George's apartment and starts recording again while somebody goes in and kills Laura. Now the person who's going in to kill Laura looks just like George, same outfit and everything that George has worn previously when he was over there. But George is not the killer, so somebody's actually setting up George. Meanwhile, George breaks up with his girlfriend, and then he's trying to track down this guy named Devinoff, something like that, Jamie Gillis, and he can't find him anymore. Laura turns up dead, and next thing you know, he's wanted by the police. So he realizes somebody's framed him. His friend Bob is trying to help him out, and Bob gets killed. He tracks down his old girlfriend, Jeannie, who he broke up with in the film, and turns out Jeannie is working with this guy, Jack, Jamie Gillis, and they kind of set him up to get this. There's some sort of money laundering or something going on, too, where they're supposed to get money. Well, Jamie Gillis shoots Jeannie. I guess he wants everything for himself, and then he's going to shoot George, too, but George runs away, and they get into a fight. Eventually, George is able to get him in this like elevator thing and chop his arm off, and then the police come, and just as George is about to be killed by Jack, the police shoot Jack, and that's the end of our film. So anyway, was this a good film? I don't know. It's got some good nude scenes in it, that's for sure. Some full frontal nudity from the actresses, and there's also the maid in the apartment building where Laura has sex in Laura's bed with this with the doorman. I don't know. It doesn't seem very likely, but whatever, right? It was a nude scene, so that's cool. Anyway, not a whole lot of famous people in this movie. Veronica Hart, who was also a porn star, has a small role in this, as does, I think her name is Beth Broderick. She did some porn in the 80s as well, and now she does Hallmark movies on TV, so go figure, right? So anyway, it's called If Looks Could Kill, not to be confused with the 1991 Richard Grieco film of the same title. This is not available on DVD. It was only on VHS here as well as overseas. This is I have the pre-recorded VHS of this, and this is some homemade box art. I burned the disc, so there you go. If Looks Could Kill, let me know if you've seen this movie. Leave some comments down below. It's okay for what it is, and it's got some good nudity, so check it out. Watch it. Bye.